Hi everyone, Tony from Mac the Movies here with the girl I'm currently sleeping with at the time of this recording.
Currently.
Anyway, we saw Shazam.
Yeah. It was good.
Here, well, real quick, since people don't know your opinions on things, let's go through the DCEU and just give me like a brief synopsis. Man of Steel, what do you think?
Oh, it took me like 4 times to watch that movie without falling asleep.
Okay. Batman v Superman.
Dear Blade.
Couldn't see a thing. Wasn't that great. All I remember from that movie is Martha.
Suicide Squad.
Biggest boss and I've been a Trillis. I'm a bigger problem when I click with Skrillex.
I couldn't even tell you one thing about Suicide Squad, and I had to watch it twice with my brother. It's pretty bad, but that's like a universal opinion.
Yeah.
So.
Except for the Academy Award, they thought the makeup.
They
thought the makeup was pretty good. Okay, Wonder Woman.
That was fun.
What was after that? Oh, Justice League.
Do you bleed?
Justice League.
You know what? It was under 2 hours.
You could see what was going on.
What was it? Aquaman. I liked Aquaman. A little too long, but I liked Aquaman.
It was fun to look at for the most part. Like, it had a lot of things going on. It also had a little too much going on. So.
Yeah, and it's not going to age well now that, Amber Heard might have faked being a victim of spousal abuse. Anyway, that leads us to Shazam. So this series is very, very hit or miss. When it's hit, it's like, eh. When it's missed, it's like, this is the worst thing ever made by a human.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But Shazam was good. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you know?
It didn't overstay its welcome.
It wasn't too connected to the rest of what they're doing right now.
They drop hints to it, but
yeah,
you could show this movie to someone. There's like news articles that say what happens in other movies, but if you didn't watch those movies, those could just be different adventures that Superman and Batman might have done.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay.
One of my favorite things is when the kids is playing with Batman and Superman, and he crashes them together, and he's like having fun playing with those, and like he sees Shazam and the villain out
Savannah,
there, and he just drops them like, sorry guys, never mind.
If we get into the history of Shazam a little bit, he was always a competitor with Superman. As a matter of fact, he used to outsell Superman for many, many, many years. And of course, I mean Captain Marvel, but you can't call him Captain Marvel anymore.
Captain Sparkle Fingers,
yeah.
They were calling him.
Alright, so that's one people are probably wondering how they, even though this review's late and people already answered it. But if you're wondering, if for some reason you were waiting to hear our opinion, their clever workaround behind not calling him Captain Marvel was they just didn't give him a name. They call him Captain Sparkle Fingers, Thundercrack. They just...
Yeah, and what a coincidence that Captain Marvel and Shazam would be coming out around the same time.
Oh yeah, it's almost like Marvel always tries to fuck with Shazam comics.
Yeah.
Oh man, that used to get... Did you... Before I told you all of that, were you ever confused by like Shazam and the Captain Marvel thing?
No.
Because I remember when I was like really getting into comics, I remember being like, oh, that's Shazam. That's Shazam. And then I read comics and people call him Captain Marvel. I'm like, what the fuck's going on here?
See, I only knew him as Shazam because of the Elvis thing, and I knew that Shazam was Elvis's favorite. So I only knew him as that until I started dwelling into it.
Close. Not his favorite. Captain Marvel Jr. was his favorite.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah, so this movie is based off the 2011 reboot, which I did not see, which I did not read. But apparently it's really good. That's where they finally named him Shazam, and the writer basically said, when he was asked about it, he's like, people think that's his name anyway. It's like, why the fuck not? He's Shazam now. I was hoping to be more like this book here. I'm not a big Shazam guy. He's like Doctor Strange and Aquaman. They're characters that I really like when they're in other people's stories, and I very rarely read their solo stuff.
Yeah.
But this is one of the best books I've ever read, ever. So check it out. Blah! So yeah, basically, I guess let's run through the story real quick. Billy Batson, little boy, lost his mom.
It's a very touching beginning scene where Him and his mom are spending a very nice day together at the carnival.
Yes.
And they get separated somehow.
Yeah, and it's this journey. It's like the orphan story we've seen like a million times.
Yeah.
And even before that, there's
a good old-fashioned orphan story. Good
old-fashioned orphan story. Before that, you get Savannah's like little backstory where his family like hates him.
Yes.
And then he gets brought to the wizard Shazam, and the Shazam's like, you're not my thing. And then sends him back, and he calls a car accident. You felt like there was something missing there, right? With his family?
Later on, I felt like there was something missing.
Okay,
you want to wait until we get to the
we'll get to that.
Family.
We'll go through the steps here.
His mom was missing. They never mentioned the mom.
That's what I want to bring up. Yeah, let's see. Where am I here on our list? We wrote notes. We went to a bar and wrote notes afterwards.
And then did most of the talking in the car on the way.
Yeah. Billy joins a new foster family, and here's one of the changes they made. Usually Mary is his twin sister or his biological. I forget if she's biological or a twin or like his adopted sister, but she's usually his sister from the beginning. And in this one, he just meets her in the house.
Yeah.
And I was hoping to God they weren't going to have a romance thing, because that would have weirded me out.
Yeah. But they made her like older, not much older.
Yeah.
Than him, but it was like kind of like he was maybe in 9th grade and she was applying for colleges already. And
again, I don't remember the Captain Marvel family really well off the top of my head, but that book she's definitely younger than him, so that was like a change for me. But the main storyline, last time I read Mary Marvel, it was in that awful fucking Countdown story, and Black Adam made her evil, and it was garbage. Anyway.
Yeah, I love the Foster family, and then you kind of get like a little bit of a backstory with the kid, how he keeps running away from different foster families
to look for his mom.
Him back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he comes into this one, and they're so loving, and like the parents are just like, they seem like cool as shit and stuff. And, but the house is a little what's the word? It's a fixer-upper.
So the family, he also meets Freddie Freeman.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel Jr., although he doesn't have a superhero name in this. Spoiler.
Where's that kid from again?
He's from It. I think he was the hypochondriac in It.
Yeah.
And he's great. He's great in this.
Yeah, he's a good talker. That's for sure.
He wears all of the shirts that have the promotional logos for all of DC's movies.
Every shirt that you have.
Yeah, no. He's wearing shirts for the DC.
Actual DC, like current DC.
Yeah. Which is kind of funny to think about, like the logo for the movie. Like I know it's on Aquaman's belt, but it's like, wait, do people know that logo's on his belt? And did they see it and decide to make a shirt off it?
Yeah. Who's making the money off of this? Or is it like one of those public things where it's just like, it's just a symbol?
That was like a thing in Watchmen where Ozymandias like had the license to all their characters.
Yeah.
And they couldn't do anything because they all had secret identity.
I think there was a nod to Watchmen, yeah?
Yeah, there were a bunch of happy faces in the principal's office.
The foster lady.
Yeah, principal. She seemed that seemed like a scene.
Whatever it is.
Anyway, so yeah, and then the other siblings are from the 2011 reboot. I wasn't familiar with them, but they were great. I think they imply the heavyset kid is gay, but then they don't hit you on the head with it because they got to play this movie in countries that hate gays.
I feel like if they do make a sequel, they owe him a little bit more of a story.
Yeah, he was just like.
Yeah, but I love how they like made the little girl like all like talky and huggy, and they made her character, and then later on when they like transform, her character was like the same.
Well, spoiler, we're not there yet.
The whole video is spoilers.
I know.
What are you talking about?
I know, spoiler alert. The whole video is spoilers. Anyway, so Billy's doing his usual runaway thing, and he meets the wizard Shazam, who's in bad shape because Savannah figured out how to get to the Rock of Eternity, which is the source of all power in the universe, I think. Well, on the Earth, I don't know.
I thought it was like the power of the 7 deadly sins, which are there's the 7 wizards, and 6 of them are dead. Yeah.
And then there's the 7 deadly sins, and by the way,
they're all stone creatures.
I fucking love that room. That's not exactly like how it is in the comics, maybe, but like it's usually set up like that. Like there's a throne,
long hallway,
and then they're on the side. They look way cooler. In the comics, they're like real cartoony looking.
Yeah.
In this one,
they
look
more like people-y.
They look like gargoyles in this movie.
Yeah, they do look like gargoyles. It reminds me of those little gargoyles you'd see at like in New Hope. They sell them. Yeah. It has like the name on it and whatnot.
Yeah, except for the big fat one. That just looked like the most horrifying thing I've ever seen in my life.
The one with the belly that opens.
Yeah, that. I don't like that. That was creepy. So Savannah steals MacGuffin magic ball to have the 7 sins, and he's gonna take over the world. So I kind of like that. Like Shazam is like constantly. Like they show other people have met Shazam and been rejected.
A lot of people. Did they say it was like some 50-some people? Yeah. Because he like devoted his life to getting back to that thing, getting another chance or something. And he's just going after all the people that had like similar experiences, and he finally meets that lady and gets the code. Yeah, and he realized the code was right, but he had to write it 7 times or something. And
fucking like I think Billy points out to him, he's like, I need someone pure of heart. He's like, I don't know if someone like that exists. I like that he gives the power of Shazam to Billy just because he's fucking there. And he's got literally no choice. You're my last resort. He's like you're all I got. Yeah. Played by, I'm gonna butcher his name. The Shazam is Jumanji, who also played a fishman in Aquaman, who was also in Captain Marvel, Marvel's Captain Marvel. Wow, he did both. Traitor. Good for him. He's great. I mean, he's very short-lived, but he's great in the role. He's like, hey, I love his wig. His wig is... I
love his eyebrows.
So he gives Billy the power, and what's his name? Zachary Levi is the grown-up Captain Marvel. Shazam, and he's fucking great.
Can I just say that I couldn't help but think in certain angles it just looked like a beefy Jimmy Fallon.
It did kind of look like a beefy Jimmy. I fucking like where'd that book go? I love that they stayed pretty much accurate to this. Yeah. They even like exaggerated the muscles.
The costume and everything.
Because if you think about it, I think, from what I remember, I think Captain Marvel is like how they imagine a superhero should look. So if you're like a young boy, you're gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna have like really big muscles, and I'm gonna have a cape. It's gonna be cool.
But like a lot of times nowadays with superheroes, they like do the costume modern-y.
Yeah, and like
that's a word. I don't know.
Well, this series learned because like look at Aquaman's first costume in Justice League. It's fucking garbage. It's just like gold and green, and then like Aquaman, they were like, oh, let's just give him the actual fucking. It's the same thing with Wonder Woman. Her suit is like all brown in Batman v Superman, and then when she got her own movie, they were like, oh yeah, it's supposed to be red. So I think they thought this is the first one where right off the bat they were like, oh, let's just make it how it is. Which is cool. I like that it glows in the front. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought that was cool too.
But the best part, usually origin stories are kind of boring. I mean, I love origin stories, but like, you see one, you kind of see them all at least when it comes to the learning their powers phase. Yeah. Where it's like, oh, I'm being chased now. I know I have this power. Now I know, oh, someone shot me. I love that, like, him learning his powers was just him and his friend hanging out, like, testing it out.
Yeah, I also love the fact that, they did bring in kind of like how kids are today, and they immediately videotaped it all and uploaded it to YouTube.
Yeah, they uploaded it all to YouTube. Because the wizard dies in this version. The wizard dies, which he dies in some versions. Others he lives, I think. And like he didn't tell him what any of his powers were, so they're just guessing the whole movie.
Yeah, and I love that Freddy knows like everything about superheroes too. So he's like, see if you could do this, you know. Yeah.
Really related to Freddy.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
If I was that age, I could tell you everything about superheroes and horror movie villains at the same time. So that was really, really good. Solid. And then the bad guy shows up. And usually this is when, like, usually, like, origin movies, the third act, when they have to fight the villain, it's when it kind of gets boring. It's like, alright. But, like, it never got... I like that he was taking himself so seriously, and they were just wacky around him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I like that it wasn't like a super long fucking battle at the end. I mean, it was long, but it wasn't like...
Well, back up.
Yeah.
Well, when he first shows up and he goes after his dad and brother...
Yes.
You know, you see the 7 deadly sins, like, actually, like, moving around in daylight, if you will.
Which I wasn't expecting that. I guess I just never read a story where they're out of the statues, but that was cool to see.
Yeah, that was cool. Because there's a few parts here and there where the CGI is a little bit, rubbery.
But it kind of worked.
But the monsters worked. It's just the fact that it was in the daylight too, and they still like looked good. Yeah. But that was the part where I felt that was missing with the family story.
Yeah.
You know, what was his dad's company? Why, like, it was just weird. And then he's on the elevator, and it starts showing a commercial for the company, but it doesn't really describe what the company does.
It's just about family.
And then he punches it after, you know, killing his brother and his dad.
It was never
his dad's in a wheelchair. He beats up on his dad. There's no holding back with beating up disabled people.
Yeah. Oh, the Freddy gets his ass beat. Yeah, but like it's one thing to say, oh, they hate him because of the accident, but they hated him before the accident.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, was there something with the mom? Did the mom die in childbirth?
Yeah, mommy's boy, and then the mom's out of the picture, so now they just gang up on him.
I don't know. And then, like, because he clearly had his own little sciencey thing to fund that project.
Yeah.
Was he part of the company? Did he have his own company?
Yeah, they don't really say anything about
just needed a little bit more there.
A little bit more information.
Also, I like Mark Strong, and I think he was fine in this movie, but I'm used to that character just being a little bit more wacky. Like, he has, like, gangly teeth and shit, and he's just, like, a real Weasley looking dude. And this one, he's just, like, dark and, like, stoic. I'm like, eh. But at least he wasn't a guy in a gray suit who shoots lightning out of his eyes like all the other fucking bad guys in this franchise.
Oh, with, like, big horns and, like, an alien army.
Was it, so Man of Steel, they're superpowered people in big gray suits. Batman v Superman, I guess Batman's the bad guy. He wears a big gray suit. Wonder Woman, gray dude in the suit, shoots lightning. Fucking, what was it? Do you remember the other bad guy in Suicide Squad? Everyone remembers...
Besides that chick?
Yeah. I feel like no one remembers there was a second bad guy in that movie. Her brother was a big CGI guy in a gray suit with big horns. And then, of course, Justice League. So, even though I wasn't, like, thrilled with Savannah in this, at least it wasn't a guy in a fucking gray suit.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got his... He's wearing his suit, Savannah. He's wearing his comic suit underneath his, like, jacket and stuff. And I'm like, come on, show the mad scientist outfit. It's there. I can clearly see it. Just fucking show me the outfit.
Yeah, well, after he is with his family and, like, fucking kills his dad and whatever with the monsters, he wants to start going after the Chosen One.
Yeah.
Which I just think of Compel. The Chosen One. But, like, meanwhile, he's busy taking selfies with people.
Yeah.
And doing, like, light shows. And we're actually really close to Philly, so...
Yeah, that's the thing.
That was kind of fun, seeing our own city.
Yeah, they changed well, I forget where it was in the original comics. But, like, when DC got it, because the original comics were Fawcett comics, and then DC absorbed that, so... Mm-hmm. Captain Marvel would be in Fawcett City. Yeah. And there they changed this to Philadelphia, and his high school's called, like, Fawcett High School and shit. But, like, it didn't... Besides the Art Museum, it didn't really feel like Philly.
Yeah, it just felt like they were given a few skyline views, and then they had a few nods to Rocky, of course. But
they didn't even get the SEPTA logo. But I think that's only going to be a problem for people like us. A couple states over, they're not going to give a shit about that.
I don't care.
I didn't think they were going to do this in the first movie. But Shazam realizes, oh, he needs the power for me. Let me divide it amongst my adopted family.
Yeah, that was kind of cute.
Yeah. And then they all become, like, Shazams. I don't know what to call them. I'm so used to calling them the Marvel family, but I guess they're Shazams now.
I just love when he's like, say my name. They're all like, Billy!
Yeah. So you get Adam Brody as Freddy, who was going to be the Flash in the Justice League from 2007, the one that never got made. And I only recognize him because my sister had the biggest fucking crush on him for fucking years.
Yeah.
So as soon as I saw him, like, it's Adam Brody after Infinite Crisis. Anyway, they beat the bad guy at the end. They don't kill him, which is nice. Which I like. You don't always have to kill the villain. The villain doesn't always have to die. I think every villain's died.
He doesn't always have to explode into, like, a starlight fucking dust cluster.
Yeah. Oh, you know who didn't die? Steppenwolf. He got out of there right before he died.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see more Steppenwolf in the future. And then the movie... Oh, we forgot to mention the mom. Billy beats his mom, and...
Yeah. And they keep that short, which I really liked.
Which was nice.
Yeah,
and as soon as you
dwell on it too much.
As soon as you see her, you know exactly what the story is. You're like, oh, yeah.
Can we also talk about how it was like the domestic abuse inn that she was staying at? It was like as soon as he gets in there, like one door, you hear like people yelling, and he gets to his mom's door, and her boyfriend's like in the background. It's like, is this the whole apartment?
Yeah. I mean, that part of Philly's right. If you go down a certain neighborhood, you'll see a person there and be like, yep, that girl will leave her kid at a carnival.
But then they reflash to the beginning scene where it's kind of shown in the mom's perspective, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, the kid had like a false memory of like this great day with his mom, but when you see like the reality, she was like miserable the whole time, and then she was like, oh, I lost my kid. I'm better off.
Oh well.
So that's the story of the movie. Now we'll get into references and shit that we wrote down.
Should probably have planned this better.
Oh, Mr. Mind is in the movie. And I got, like, real excited. I didn't expect to see Mr. Mind.
Because it was very early on.
It's, like, minute fucking 2. They show Mr. Mind, Savannah goes into, like, the Rock of Eternity, and you just see a little jar of Mr. Mind eating a leaf. And I'm like, because Mr. Mind is in 52. It's, spoiler, without spoiling too much, he ends up being the main villain of that story, and he's fucking great. And he's a classic Shazam villain. It's like Savannah, Mr. Mind, and Black Adam. Oh, this pissed me off. They kept hinting to Talkie Tawny the tiger.
Yeah, it was on his, what are they, lapels?
Yeah, it's on his lapels. He had a tiger thing on his bag.
He wanted the tiger with his mom.
He gave a little girl a tiger.
Yeah, at the carnival. It was the same exact tigers. They didn't even, like, reuse. They probably just were like, alright, bring in the stuffed animals again. There Yeah, either way they could go really wrong or really good.
Envy stays in Savannah, probably because he's envious. You came up with that theory, I think. The sin Envy.
Yeah.
Is the one that rarely leaves Savannah's body.
Because he's trying to kill the chosen one.
Yeah.
Because he's jealous that he got chosen over him all those years ago.
Yeah.
So he keeps the envy in him.
And then,
just like he had his dad killed by greed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, did we mention the dad? The dad has also been in 2 other DC things. He was Lex Luthor's dad in Smallville. And he was the mad scientist that makes the chemical for Poison Ivy and Batman and Robin.
Oh.
Yeah, he went from being in one of the worst superhero movies to one of the most okay superhero movies.
Most okay.
You can't mention this movie without mentioning Big, the movie Big.
Yeah, they had the keyboard.
The keyboard in the toy store.
The first villain store. They also had Cyborg and Batman toys.
Yeah, but they're like
toys.
Actual toys you can buy. And I like, they have like a Ben Affleck Batman. But then they have like comic book Batman. I'm like, wait. Do some people in this universe not know what Batman looks like?
Yeah, I love how it was like on such an angle you couldn't see the Justice League movie.
And then, by the way, they keep showing like the old Batman logo. And since Batman is older in this universe, I'm like, oh, maybe he used to have that suit with the bright gray and the yellow and black logo. I don't know.
Maybe it's like, what's that serial we were watching the other day?
Oh, The Phantom?
The Phantom, where one dies and it's just passed on to his son, so there's just a million Batman.
Maybe it'll all be explained in the solo Batman movie that they'll probably never end up making. Alright, Spawn wears his outfit. Oh, it's set in the wintertime, which is cool.
I thought it was a little jarring to see a Christmas movie, or a movie set at Christmas time in April.
That's so...
I never liked that. But that's because the DVDs will probably sell.
That'd be long before Christmas, but yeah. This is, they work for Batman and Batman Returns.
I'm not a Christmas person, so I'm
neither am I. It gave the movie an excuse to be gray and overcast.
Yeah, that's
because I was like, Shazam should be colorful and bright. I'm like, oh, it's set at wintertime. That's fine. Mm-hmm. Whatever.
The Santa Claus that keeps coming in and out of the random...
Oh yeah, there's the Santa Claus guy, which is great. The crocodile men show up.
Yeah.
We should talk about the Rock of Eternity has a bunch of doors, which I kind of like, that they lead to other worlds. Kind of remind me of Beetlejuice. Remember the doors in the hallway? And they open up the one, and it's 3 of the crocodile men who all turn, which I thought was really, really good. Even if you don't get that reference, it's just a funny, cool thing that happened. It did have very Spider-Man Homecoming style credits, which you pointed out.
Yeah, I felt like it was a little bit of a rip because it like even had the Ramones to it.
Was it the Ramones? Did we figure that out? It sounded a lot like them. Yeah.
I think it was. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, Spider-Man Homecoming didn't come up with that.
No.
But if you're...
it was very popular around last year.
It was popular right before Justice League bombed. So.
Yeah. So it was just kind of like, oh, you're doing that too? Like right down to the same band?
Yeah. Billy says holy moly a couple times. And I think he says gee whiz, which is something his character says a lot. Superman shows up. Superman from the neck down. I think after
That's the end credit though.
That's not the end credits. That's actually the end of the movie.
That is the end of the movie?
There were 2 end credits. It was Mr. Mime and Savannah and...
Oh yeah, that's right.
The last one, which is clearly a scene that was cut from the movie and put at the end to remind you that Aquaman's on Blu-ray now. Because they're trying to test out if he has talking to fish powers.
Yeah.
He's like, that's a lame power. Well, and then he's like, Aquaman. He's like, oh, cool.
He's conveniently wearing the Aquaman shirt at the same time.
Yep. That's for someone who drags someone to the movie theater who doesn't watch these movies. And they went, oh, that's actually really fun. What was that ending about? Oh, it's about Aquaman. Oh, is that one good? Yeah. Oh, it's on Blu-ray right now. It's like, oh, okay. So, there's that. And I think we covered most of it.
I do want to, also with the convenience store.
Yeah.
How, like, they were so hyped on being, like, the adult, like, with the big thing.
Oh, yeah.
And, it was hilarious that he got shot in the face a bunch of times. He's like, no, do it in my face now.
No, the kids say shoot him in the face.
Yeah,
wait, what?
But like they're like, oh yeah, we saved your store, and then they go and buy like a bunch of beer, and then they realize that they don't like beer because they're still kids.
Yeah.
And then they go back in and buy like Red Bull and candy and stuff. I thought that was hilarious.
You know what? That's another example of like an origin story. I've seen the fucking superhero save someone in the convenience store like a million goddamn times.
Yeah, especially it's always at the beginning of their powers. It's like the first thing they do.
Or like with Venom. It's in the beginning, but he doesn't do anything. At the end, he does something. Like I'm thinking, even back to RoboCop, like one of his first things when he's in the suit is. But like this movie, even though it was doing stuff I've seen before, it was doing it in such like a refreshing way. Like I didn't even think about that till now. I'm like, oh yeah, I know the grocery store scene. It's in so many things.
Like they're there to buy something, and then it happens.
Yeah. So that's a solid film. I'm excited to see what comes next.
Yeah, absolutely. I would like to see another one. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yes, they're gonna do a solo.
I can't say his name without saying The Rock.
I don't think anyone can. He produced this film because he wants to do a Black Adam. He wants to be Black Adam in a future movie, but I think he's gonna do his solo movie first. So it'll be like the origin of like what went wrong because they hint to it in this one. They talk about the first person who had the power.
Yeah. And
it clearly looks like The Rock, which I'm actually glad they didn't shoehorn him into this.
Yeah, because then it would have felt like Aquaman when they're like, every story at once.
Yeah, but Aquaman was just like, we're going to do all Aquaman things. All of them.
Yeah.
If they had time to squeeze in a baby and do the dead baby storyline, you know they would have fucking done it, but they just didn't have enough time.
Yeah, but on like Hour Free, they're like, that's enough.
I'm shocked he didn't get his hand cut off at one point, because that's a big story. So I'm glad he took a back seat in this one. Because of the story they're basing this off of, Black Adam was more of the villain instead of Savannah. If you put Black Adam in this, and it's The Rock, it's going to distract from the kids. Like, people are only going to talk about The Rock.
Yeah, it's going to just be another...
Yeah, it's going to be like the old Batman movies.
It'd probably be better if they did that third. So they have this good start, and they do, like, a second one. Yeah. The kind of, because the second one always sucks. No matter what movie.
No, not with superhero movies. Usually the third one.
I mean, like look at 4. The first 2 movies were horrible.
But if we're talking about
usually the third movie is the best.
In superhero movies?
In trilogies.
That's a different video. We're gonna talk about that another time.
In most trilogies, I feel like the third one should be like the best and the final and like the end.
It should be. It rarely is though. But anyway, I want to see more of this. I want this to be good. I want them to do a Flash movie that goes back in time and erases all of Zack Snyder's bullshit. Because I still like the cast from those movies.
Yeah. And
I want to see the fucking Justice League fight The Rock. I want Shazam and his pals to team up with the Justice League and just punch the shit out of The Rock. That's all I want. I know earlier I said I like that this movie was more clever with how they dealt with the villain. But when it comes to Black Adam, I just want to see a bunch of people beat the shit out of him. So, yeah. What do you think? You think Elvis would be proud of this? Did we mention the Elvis thing?
I feel like if Elvis saw this movie, it'd blow his fucking mind. He died in 1970.
Yeah, and that's the end. If we brought Elvis back to life, first he's gonna be like, whoa. Whoa, I can't do Elvis.
No,
and then they're gonna, and then we'll be like, hey, the first thing we're gonna show you is the Shazam movie. And we'll be like, oh, cool, they made a movie. Was he alive when that awful TV show came out?
Probably.
Do you think he killed himself after watching the TV show?
Maybe. We watched one episode of that show.
It's so terrible.
Nah. Yeah, too bad this movie didn't have the caravan with the logo right on top of it.
So we bring Elvis to the theater and we just show him this movie without context. He would go fucking nuts. He'd be like, what? He would think like the monsters were real and shit, man.
He would probably go to the bathroom and kill himself all over again.
Elvis definitely was a fan of Captain Marvel Jr.
Elvis loved Shazam to the point where he made a logo.
Yeah.
And modeled it off of the Shazam lighting.
And his outfit, he used to like to wear the blue colorful outfits with the little mini cape.
Yeah, that was like Shazam inspired.
Yeah. Which people have tried to dispute that and been like, no, there's all this stuff, but like, who's to say? He might have just been like, hey, make it like this, and then the person did it and didn't want to say like, oh, I ripped off a fucking comic book.
Yeah.
So who knows? But yeah, I'm glad they've kept that. Although they couldn't use any of his songs for some reason. Just one song.
Did you look that up and determine
I didn't, but I'm assuming that's the only fucking reason they wouldn't.
The first song they play is Bing Crosby, but it sounds like him. At first I got excited. I was like, is that Elvis? But it wasn't.
Yeah, that's all I got for Shazam.
Yep.
You got any more?
Nope.
Okay. Bye!